Good morning. Today I was going to touch on something entirely different, still relevant, but entirely different. Yet, as I was putting my thoughts together, I was once again sidetracked, taken aback by the salacious stupidity that has made the news. Well, it's not necessarily stupidity because it is quite relevant, but it reflects the stupidity, rather, of a nation that is spiraling down the proverbial over-entitled rabbit hole. A nation that is allowing salacious behavior to go almost unnoticed and unscathed, and giving these offenders carte blanche to carry out their agenda with no repercussions. I am disgusted, devastated, and offended. Why? Because people are taking privileges that are not theirs to take. People are out there screaming about white privilege while burning down buildings, destroying businesses, all in the name of equity, inclusion, and whatever else under the guise of Black Lives Matter. They are not telling you the reality that all lives matter. Black lives matter, Asian lives matter, white lives matter, all lives essentially matter. And yet, we have people who are destroying other people's lives in order to protect their own. And not necessarily their own lives, but their own lives and their own twisted agenda. The latest display of this is the Palestinian people who are destroying the nation that has given them and allowed them the freedoms to do so. To do so, like I said, unscathed and without apparent consequences. Now, as someone of Greek heritage, I understand that people are offended by being oppressed. The Greeks were held captive by the Turks for 400 years. And yet, we as a people, while we dislike that period of time and we dislike some of its outcomes, including Turkey still retaining control of Constantinople, which now goes more famously and most recognizably by Istanbul, we have accepted the past for what it is, and we've moved on. And we hold no grudges against the Turkish people or the nation. No grudges, especially of the Turkish people of today, or the nation that is Turkey today. We do not go about clambering and clamoring on endlessly and destructively about regaining Istanbul and giving it back to the Greeks and renaming it Constantinople. We have simply moved on because we have chosen to be the adults in the room. And adults understand that they don't always get what they want, when they want, or how they want. Yet we have Palestinian people who are seeking to take back land that is supposedly theirs. And I understand no one likes to give up what they feel or believe to be theirs. But let's ask ourselves this. We have taken land from the Native Americans, and yet I don't see the Native American population carrying on the way the Palestinian people, as of recently, have done. I don't see the Native American people or Native Canadian people or the Inuits carrying on in efforts to destroy a nation that was essentially, if you ask them, stolen from them. I don't see them burning down buildings, defacing statues, and so on and so forth. I see them living peacefully among the population and moving on with their lives and trying to better themselves, their future, and their children's future. They have assimilated. And that is a tremendous credit to them. Yet I see the Palestinian people across the board in all nations being violent, destructive, immature, spoiled brats, trying to bite the hand that feeds them, especially in North America. They are imposing martial law on the rest of us, and our politicians are allowing them to get away with it. They are taking it upon themselves to threaten future presidents, threaten them by claiming they will not vote for them unless they side with them. They are imposing their opinion, and they are doing everything in their power to impose their agenda. And they're doing it violently and viciously. Again, they are going to the nation's capital in the United States and defacing statues, destroying property, and carrying on like savages. Yes, savages, animals. And what do we do to animals who go wild? We shoot them. Now, I'm not suggesting we shoot anybody, but if you can't behave in society, there must be consequences. Again, not suggesting we shoot anybody, but I am suggesting that we at least arrest people. We at least make it more difficult for them to destroy a country that we live in, that many live in, that they live in. A country that has afforded them the opportunity to garner freedoms that don't necessarily belong to them. A country that has allowed them privileges that they would otherwise not have. A country that has made it easier for the people of certain cultures and backgrounds to advance and to realize positions of prominence and power. And this is the payback? I am flabbergasted and most of all angry. Many of these Palestinian people have come to this nation, if not them, their parents or grandparents have come to many nations to realize the freedoms they could not have in their own nation. Freedoms that would not allow women like Rashida Tlaib and others to have positions of power and prominence, would not allow women to walk around with their faces uncovered, would not allow women to walk around dressed however they please, to allow them so many freedoms across the board. And yet, these people choose to bite the hand that feeds them because they don't like what is going on in their country of origin, though they don't live there and probably most don't have any affiliation with. It is disgraceful. The unappreciative attitude that permeates our society, the entitlement that permeates our society, and the inability for anyone to have the guts to step up and call it out for what it is. I'm sorry. I think that any life lost, Israeli life lost, Palestinian life lost, Russian life lost, Ukrainian life lost, American life lost, Black life lost, white life lost, all lives lost are unfathomable and a travesty beyond words. And no lives should ever be lost, especially over land disputes or trivialities, which has become the norm. All lives are relevant. All lives are important. And the loss of one life in the Palestinian community or the Jewish community or the Black community, just one life in any community, should impact us all to the core, that we make it our business to see to it that it never happens again. But that doesn't mean that we can take matters and the law into our own hands and cause turmoil to ensure that our point of view is implemented. And like I said, many of these people who are destroying the nation that has afforded them the rights and freedoms to do so fail to understand that it is because of the nation that they are attempting to devastate and destroy, that they have these exact rights and freedoms. And my vantage point is that if they don't like it in the United States, if they don't like it in any country that has given them the right to express themselves, albeit violently, then what they need to do is stop destroying America, stop destroying any country that has made it easy, yes, easy for them to live freely. They need to pack their things and go to Gaza. They need to fight the war there, not here. They need to stop threatening the politicians with threatening to withhold their votes. That is everyone's God-given right. They need to pack and go fight the war where the war needs to be fought, in Gaza. And most of all, they need to give up their residency in the country that has afforded them the flexibility to do what they are doing and destroy the nation that has made them who they are today. They need to go live in Palestine. They need to go back and live in Gaza. We don't want them here. If they can't appreciate what they have been given, then they don't belong here. They need to go there to live out a life they know nothing about, to give up the freedoms that they take for granted. And they need to realize that they need to go and go now, and don't let the door slap them in the ass on the way out.